There are literally volumes written on the Deming Improvement Cycle. And there's tons of videos out there already going into all of the details and people's spin on it. Here's what I want you to know about it as far as within the context and the reference of Joby's Toolbox. First is that it's not really a tool per se like a lot of the other ones is. A lot of the other ones are. It is a framework, it's a philosophy, and it really gives context, particularly to the rule of three, and helping you make better decisions, easier decisions, and taking the pressure and the stress off of decision making that you want. The Deming Improvement Cycle is the cycle of mastery. It's the cycle of growth everywhere, right? And it simply goes, you have a plan, you do that plan, then you study the results of what happened when you did what you desired, then you make adjustments and you do it again, right? So, it's goes back to learning how to walk, right? You didn't sit down and go, okay, I've got this plan to walk, and here's how I'm going to go about doing it. But you said, hey, I want to get up. And you did. And you tried to start walking. And what happened? You failed. And so then what did your brain and your nervous system do? They go, okay, well, when I do this and this is what happens. Well, how can we make adjustments? I don't know. When we did this, it seemed to work better. All right, let's do more of that. So you take that study, your brain and body come up with a new action plan. Then the next time you come up, you try to walk again. And we know this works. Why? Because that's the cycle we can watch toddler after toddler go through and see them eventually walk. That's why allowing them to fail and to fall can be so important, not only when it comes to walking, but so many other areas of life. Why? Because, again, your brain is a creative problem-solving machine, biological supercomputer that when you get those failures and those successes at that micro and macro level, it has a better plan for the next time you go. And then you keep repeating that, and mastery basically begins to occur. Look back at any task that you do with proficiency now and ask yourself, where did I begin? You may not have gone through deliberately this cycle process, but you went through these steps, whether it was learning the piano, learning how to cook, or anything else that you've gotten better at, writing. The list goes on and on. We start, we try, we have success and failure, we figure out what we need to do better and what we don't want to do again, and then we do it again. And each time we go through that cycle, we get better and better. It's the same thing that they do with software, right? An analogy we can use is software here, right? They start off, the developers have in their mind, hey, this is what we want this software to be able to do. And they create their alpha version and they do all of the testing in the best scenarios that they can to make it as close to the desired outcome as they want. Then they've got to go to a beta where they actually release it into the world and it gets torn apart. And guess what? They don't get the perfect desired outcome that they want, but they take that information and they make modifications. And then what happens? If you're watching this on your smartphone, you know what happens. Every couple of weeks, every couple of months, there's an update. They slowly are updating because they're slowly figuring out how can we get this better and better. Go back to your first smartphone for those of you who are old enough and remember with amazement how cool it was relative to that old flip phone. But compared to now, what a dinosaur the capabilities were. And how did that jump happen from here to here? It happened through continuous small improvements over and over. Okay? So that's the kind of philosophical context that when it comes to your decision making with the rule of three and whether something's a life or death situation, and once you begin to recognize, wait, I'm actually in my version of the Deming Improvement Cycle right now. I'm stuck in the initial plan and study phase. I need to do that research, make a decision, then do something. And then once I start doing that, whatever that decision is, I take that action, then I'm going to get more refinement and I'm going to kind of move on. And that a lot of the decisions in my life are going to be about that journey of decision making. That's how I view this Deming Improvement Cycle, is as a way for you to help put the context and of the decisions that you're making and using it as a tool, particularly when it comes to a tool of creating a new habit. So if you are stuck in your ability to get a new habit, whether it's flossing, changing your diet, exercising, reading more, writing more, spending time with your children, whatever it is, recognizing, hey, I've got my desired outcome. I've made a decision. I've got a plan. I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to see what works and what doesn't work. And then I'm going to learn from that. And then I'm just going to constantly make that refinement, that it doesn't have to be a success failure option, that the decision that I'm making is moving me forward to get it done. And hey, hopefully it's not an ongoing thing forever. It doesn't have to be. But you get to the level of mastery that you want, you're happy with that particular outcome, and then you move on and reuse this cycle of growth for more enriching experiences in your life. So if you are watching this at hanktogrow.com, look down. You will find a quick little cheat sheet, whether it's a JPEG that you download to your phone or a PDF that you want to print out, whatever works best for you. It's there. Goes over this tool. So it's a quick reference so that when you need it, boom, you can access it and start working it and implementing it into your life. If you're watching this somewhere else, maybe just at YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, wherever, then sneak on over to hanktogrow.com. Check out the Joby Toolbox link and get all the cheat sheets you need and a bunch of other great information while you're there.